Over the weekend, Travis Scott held his AstroWorld Festival in Houston, Texas. And for those who are like living under a rock or something, the event itself was a massive, massive failure. They had to cancel the second and final day because the first day produced 8 deaths and I think 25 casualties in total. 25 people or 25 plus people went to hospital. And I just kind of wanted to talk a little bit about this. I've seen a lot of different comments, a lot of different viewpoints and opinions, and I've done a little bit of research into the actual event, into what caused it, into things, you know, different posts and opinions. I've seen that girl's post who actually went up onto the stage, and I've seen other people. I've seen all the comparisons to, you know, satanic rituals and all sorts of stuff. I'm not going to go into that part because I just think that's complete and utter bullshit. Anyone who knows Travis Scott and his music, his style, his original style was always that kind of demonic, I guess satanic, if you want to call it that, style. It's just, it's not, I'm not even going to give that shit a time of day. What I do want to talk about though is who is at fault. And it's a sticky one. I'm not going to lie, it's a sticky one, or at least it was a sticky one. Similarly, in the case of the Alec Baldwin disaster, that tragedy that happened there, it's completely down to Travis and his team. That is it. Travis and his team, 150 million %. Travis Scott, his team, his staff, they're all at fault. They simply didn't invest enough time, enough resources, enough money into security, into having the correct security protocols, into having the adequate amount of security staff, paramedics on hand or within the vicinity that could respond as first responders. They didn't invest in the right amount of safety and fences. Like, you can't really have fans tearing down walls and jumping over walls and fucking running into shit, running into each other, stampeding, trampling and literally killing each other. Everything that happened is on Travis and his team. Every single thing. Because they're the ones that set up the event. They're the ones that made this event. And yeah, you want to make this event for your fans, right? The fans who love you, the fans who paid money. Ultimately, those fans are the ones that are paying for Travis. They're paying for his bills, his lifestyle, putting food on his table, paying for his kids. And so the simplest thing that they could have done to repay those fans is to set up an event that's safe and secure so that they can have an enjoyable time, a good time, and people don't fucking die. And for people who are saying, you know, oh, they couldn't have possibly guessed that something like this would happen, there's just no way they could have thought about this. You're fucking lying to yourself. This is not the first time that some shit like this has happened at a Travis Scott concert or a Travis Scott show or a Travis Scott appearance. How many times are we gonna have to wait for all the mosh pits, the people pushing and shoving into each other? How many times must it happen before something like this happens, before we start taking some precautions, some proper precautions? How many times? Or do we have to literally wait every single time until a tragedy, a disaster like this happens? Until 8 people lose their lives? We know how fucking crazy and psychotic some of Travis's fans are. Don't get me wrong, I'm obviously here getting mad at the Psycho Stan fans, but ultimately my anger is at Travis and his team. They did not do enough. They simply didn't. And of course, it's not all on Travis, because as a performer, there's only so much you can do, right? You're limited. You do this, you're not really responsible for this, this, and this. You kind of are, because it's your brand, it's your company, but you're not. You hire someone to be responsible for all of this stuff here, right? And obviously Travis didn't do the hiring himself, but it's down to you as well, as the artist, as the influencer, as the guy whose event this is, to look after the people who pay for you. To look after the people that literally make this event possible, make it a possibility. Because without his fans, he would not be able to do this. There is no AstroWorld Festival, there is no Travis Scott without Travis Scott's fans. And so to me, Travis Scott, his team, his company, his hiring director, whoever's responsible for that shit, they need to take accountability. It's their responsibility. And there's not enough of that. I don't care who you are. I really don't fucking care. You need to take accountability, because that's your show. That's your responsibility. It's your fans. You simply didn't hire enough people to manage this properly and appropriately. You had a finite amount of space. and you let in too many people into there, which caused the stampede, which caused all the trampling, which caused all the problems. And now look at the fallout, look at the consequences. And fair enough, yeah, he went and he made this apology video where he's, you know, oh man, you know me, hey man, you know, I try and give the fans a wonderful time, but we gonna work harder to make sure that the families, we just gonna keep praying for them, making sure that they gonna be well. We just no, prayer and words and apologies don't matter in this situation. People are dead. People are literally dead. The youngest being 14 years old, one other being 16, I think 2 are 21, 2 are 23, and the eldest being 27. No one deserves to fucking die when they go to see their favorite artist perform at a fucking concert. And look, I know it sounds like I'm scrutinizing his apology and stuff, which I am, and people are, and people said it's ingenuine and that he doesn't mean what he's saying, and, you know, give that guy an Oscar and all that stuff, right? He needs to address the behavior of his fans. He needs to do it. He hasn't bashed his fans enough. It's been going on for far too long. It's happened far too often. It's far too much of a common occurrence that when you mention Travis Scott and Travis Scott's fans, you have these fucking crazy psychotic stans who are just insane, and they'll create all these mosh pits where they fucking trample on each other, where they stampede, where they're literally fucking clotheslining like they're in the fucking WWE whilst watching a show, a performance. Something that should be, you know, all the fantastic music that Travis has made, that he's collaborated on, that he's helped to create this sound. We're celebrating it, right? Instead, you're fucking ruining it. You're ruining it. So yeah, in my opinion, Travis Scott, as the peak of influencing, literally millions and millions of people across the world follow this guy and will do exactly what he says. They will. They just will. He needs to bash that behavior. I don't care how much money these psycho stands make you, you need to bash that behavior. You need to, at some point, draw a line in the sand with your community and say, listen, enough is enough. This cannot happen. And he hasn't done that. He hasn't done that enough. Ultimately, he's an enabler. He enables this shit to happen. I really don't care about giving your fans an experience and making something that they want to love and enjoy. And I mean, I'm pretty sure no one loves and enjoys having dead people in front of them, people, you know, being fucking killed under their feet. I don't think anyone enjoys that or appreciates that. You need to take some accountability, Travis Scott. Your whole team needs to take some accountability. You messed up. People are dead because of your mess up. And I know he's trying to work now with the victims' families, he's trying to help them out, but ultimately, you know, it's too little too late. They're dead. Nothing you do now can help bring them back. And that's just a fact. Of course, by no means am I saying, you know, Travis is 100% responsible for the behavior of his fans. He's not their father, he's not their dad. He can't control every single one of his, you know, however many million fans he has. But by not saying anything, you are enabling this kind of behavior. By not speaking against it, by not bashing their actions, by not literally saying, calm the fuck down, you're enabling this shit. And nothing's gonna stop it from happening again at your next show, or at your next festival. The next time they hear a Travis Scott song, the next time a Travis Scott Nike collab drops, no one's gonna stop those fucking crazy psycho stands from trampling each other to go and get that new pair of Jordans with Travis Scott's fucking Cactus Jack name on it. Travis Scott needs to take accountability because kids should not be dying at a festival.